Hey everybody, it's me, Sven here, bringing you day 48 of Let's Talk About Autism. Before we get started, hit the like and subscribe button. It'll help me out a lot. Today's a bit more of a special video because it was 4 years ago today that an autistic guy named Yarden Silveira passed away. And I'm making this video in his honor. So, his story came up on X a little over a year ago, back in spring 2024. And he was autistic, of course, and he was also gay. And he went trans at some point during his teens. So around age 15, he went trans for whatever reason, probably because society didn't love him as he was beforehand. And he sort of went trans for a number of years, like, gosh, it was like 8 years or something. But he went trans for a long time, went all the way, had the blockers, the estrogen or whatever, and even the surgeries. He had all of it. But he had a ton of complications, especially later. He had a ton of complications, and really, it's kind of a gruesome thing, and I don't even know if I should talk about it here, but the story's on X if you want to see it. I might provide some sources down below and show you his story that he himself wrote. Probably the Yelp reports, to be honest. I'll probably send those, as well as an X post that I made about it a few months ago. But yeah, I will post those. But in general, he had a ton of complications really from the surgeries, and it was just so terrible. Like, it was from a botched vaginoplasty. I don't know if I should say that here, but whatever. It was from botched bottom surgery, and it just went bad, and it went bad probably multiple times. And he had so many complications from it that he had blood clots, and it just didn't end well, and he eventually passed away 4 years ago today, and he was only 23 years old. And the doctors, so-called doctors, the healthcare system completely ignored him. He begged them for his detransitioning as something that would save him, and they never gave him anything. They completely shot him down. They just left him to rot, pretty much, rot away. And that to me is just heartbreaking, especially since he was a fellow peer of mine. And he deserved so much better. I mean, he was only 23. He had like his whole life ahead of him. And it's so tragic and terrible. And this is happening to autistic youth. Over half the victims are autistic, and we've already had cases of this kind of thing happening. And Yarden Silveira is one of several where transition has taken their life, ultimately. Like, they put up fake reports of, I guess, I don't even know how to say it, but they put up fake reports on, like, shoot, I'm not going to say that on YouTube, but you can probably guess what I'm talking about. They put up fake reports on that, even though that's 19 times more likely after you do those procedures, and what's happened to Yarden Silveira. We don't know exactly what happened, but that's probably what happened to him on May 20, 2021. So, yeah, this is part of a little mini-series I'm going to do within this particular series of Autistic Detransitioners. And, you know, I haven't talked about this a whole lot yet, but I definitely will in the coming weeks, especially as we get closer to that dreaded Pride Month. Ugh. I mean, YouTube. I don't know if I should say that, but I'm not a fan of what they do during that. And they target autistic kids, and Yarden Silveira is definitely a victim of that. So we basically gotta stop. We gotta fight for autistic youth so that cases like Yarden's don't ever happen again. His family set up lightforyarden.com. I think that's what it's called. You can look it up. And I'll share the posts, I'll share the story. But whatever happened, the hospital's responsible, should be held accountable for this, and they will pay a price for it. There will be lawsuits, and we autistics are going to be the ones that will take down gender ideology, and without us, it'll still exist. Without us in the fight, you can't, I mean, you can win, but it would take a long time. We'll help end this fight faster and win this fight faster so that we can have a gender ideology free world sooner rather than later. But it's going to take autistics getting involved, And that's why I'm getting involved, so I can help end it sooner, so that autistic youth like me can have normal lives that we've wanted for so long. But whatever happened to Yarden Silveira and the other autistic detransitioners I'll be talking about going forward here is something that's completely avoidable, and the best way to treat us is to just love us the way God made us. It's not that hard. If it's hard, then you're just a bad person. So, well, I don't know, bad person is a good way to say it, but you're just misunderstanding, and we'll get you the truth. I have the truth. I have the reasons to why we struggle, and that's why I make these videos. This one was a bit long, but it's finally over. You can look up the story with the links below. And thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on day 49. Goodbye.